From New York, Ebro in the morning on Hot 97.
There he is, Mayor de Blasio, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for him back on the program. First day of school talk today, Mayor de Blasio. What's going on, man?
Well, it's a big day for kids all over New York City. And by the way, Ebro, congratulations.
Yes.
You're taking Issa to pre-K today.
Yep. She is. She's in there. Look, we firmly believe in early education in my house. Sitting around with Abuela coloring and playing with coloring books till you're 5 years old and then trying to jump into kindergarten is not the move.
No.
Get in there early. Get in there early.
And we achieve pre-K for every child in New York City. But now, today, we take the next big step forward, 3K. We are starting for 3-year-olds. We're starting early childhood education for about 1,500 kids in the South Bronx and in central Brooklyn, and we want to make this citywide. We want a day to come soon where every parent knows their 3-year-old gets a quality early childhood education for free.
That's amazing, especially for how expensive. I don't have any children, but I hear how expensive childcare is.
Oh, let me
$25,000 a year.
What?
The average New Yorker, it's $12,000, but yeah, it could be 10, it could be 20. And who has that kind of money? This is something that parents should be able to depend on. And we prove with pre-K you can do it. So it's time to start a whole new era here where 3-year-olds get the help that they deserve to get a strong start in life.
Now, de Blasio, I heard your debate on 10-10 wins last night. Good job.
Thank you.
I forget the fella's name that's trying to run you out of office, but he needs some polishing. But we'll get to that at another time. I did notice yesterday when you were talking about early education and 3K and pre-K and blah, 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 that they are giving you a hard time around New York public schools and finding a solution for overcrowding in schools for high school kids and just general improvement of the schools. Can you, for people who didn't hear your debate last night, can you articulate, because if you do win this next term, obviously we'll be waiting for you to get even more things done. What is the long-term plan for New York City public schools?
I'm going to tell you, and first tell all your listeners, Democratic primary this Tuesday, September 12th.
There you go.
Asking everyone to come out and vote, and I would very much appreciate your help to keep making the schools better. So we have the highest graduation rate we've ever had. We have the lowest dropout rate we've ever had. We have test scores that have improved for 4 years in a row, and here's what we're trying to do. Really consolidate early childhood education. I want every kid over the next few years to be 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds in this free, high-quality early childhood education. That sets up the whole different equation for every child and every family. Then we want to get every child reading on grade level by 3rd grade. That's been a huge problem in this city because we haven't put previously the resources in to teach kids how to read by 3rd grade across the board. We're doing that right now. And then finally, we want a college-going culture for every child who wants it, regardless of zip code. So, for example, we're putting advanced placement courses in every high school. It used to be some high schools had them, others never had them. We're saying, regardless of neighborhood, regardless of background, every child deserves that chance to get advanced placement courses and get the message to them. They deserve the opportunity to go to college.
So it sounds like what you're saying is by the emphasis being on young people and the emphasis being on, you know, prep courses and things like that, you're basically setting I guess, a cultural tone that education is a priority and we need everybody's involvement because there's a lot of work to do. Is that what I'm getting from this?
That is true, bro, and further that we're not going to accept the history where education got divided by zip code. We all know that a lot of schools were under-resourced and were not doing their job well enough, and that was tolerated in some neighborhoods. It would never have been tolerated in other neighborhoods, you know, meaning that the status quo, the system that governed education, did not care about investing equally and sufficiently in a lot of communities. That's been true for decades. We're trying to fix that with a plan we call equity and excellence. That means we believe every school, every neighborhood can be a high-quality local school. And we're showing it now. You know, when everybody gets pre-K and everybody gets 3K, it sends a message to everyone that we're going to distribute these resources evenly and equally, and that every child has potential. You see these kids in pre-K, you're going to see it today with Issa. Every one of them starts out with tremendous potential. If we actually support them, they can reach that potential.
Right. Absolutely.
Mayor de Blasio, can you talk about the free lunch that's now being provided
free lunch,
for public schools?
Absolutely. We're thrilled about this. We got some additional federal support now, and we're able to, starting today, provide free lunch to every child who goes to our public schools. And this means typical family's going to save, who has been spending money on school lunch, is going to be saving about $300 per child. It's an amazing step forward. It means every kid just goes right up and gets whatever food they want. And we want to make sure kids, have the food they need so they can learn. And sometimes kids weren't taking that food and were being held back bluntly educationally. We want to make sure that they have the nutrition they need to learn.
Now, you guys, if you didn't hear the debate with de Blasio last night, you missed a gold moment.
Really? What happened?
What was that?
Our mayor, friend of the show, de Blas.
That's right.
Admitted that he used to puff a the herb.
Say what?
Clean.
But
finally, that herb come around.
he said when he was in college at NYU, he said it was only a couple times. And
But he inhaled. He did inhale.
Right.
Yes, I inhaled. It's all true.
Well, what's the point if you're not going to inhale? Let's be honest.
You can talk about it. But then he went on to say that sometimes the city stresses him out so much that he wishes he still could smoke any herb.
Honestly.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I think that was the high point of the debate. I should have used Rosenberg's quote right there. What's the point if you're not going to inhale?
Well, there are a lot of people who think, Mayor, that the reason you're so big on free lunches is actually because after you smoke, you just wanted something to eat.
You can empathize.
Part of my glorious youthful past. But listen, I gotta get going the first day of school.
Come on, de Blas.
And let me just say, my wife, the other day, we're sitting there watching some sporting, U.S. Open or something, and my wife's just like, aw, and I was like, what? And I looked up, and she was, look how cute young Mayor de Blasio is in that commercial they have.
Yeah.
So you are very popular in the Rosenberg household right now. You've won us back over, Mayor.
It's an honor to have the support of the Rosenbergs, but I thought you was going to say, look how cute Kiara and Dante were.
They were pretty
adorable.
They were pretty cute as well, and I know you're probably nostalgic on the first day of school.
Very nostalgic, but it's an amazing, this is the thing. It's like when you see your child start school, it's an incredible welling up of pride and all. You're going to feel it in a few minutes, Hebrew.
Yep.
It's a special moment. I wish I could live it every single year, but I get to live vicariously through these beautiful kids of our city today.
There it is.
Thank you,
Mayor de
Mayor.
Blasio, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you,
Thank you so
Mayor.
much.
Take care, everyone.
All
Be
right.
well.
Bye-bye.